Welcome on in, folks. This is your chapter master, Spruce and Studs, and I hope you did actually enjoy the first part of my action figure collection. You said you wanted to see the collection, and I showed you. I know that wasn't exactly 100% what you wanted to see, but in this one, I am going to show you exactly what you want to see, which is my collection that is being displayed in my man cave. And I have held out for long enough. I originally put all this locked behind Patreon, but since the holidays are here, I decided, you know what? It's time to give you all what you want, which is complete access to my full action figure collection. So without further ado, let's take a look to see exactly what I have. All right, folks, this is the moment that you all have been waiting for. This is my collection here that I choose to display in my man cave over here. I will make sure to open up the cabinet so that you can see stuff instead of seeing a ring light glare. So, ta-da! This is what I have displayed. This is my oldest cabinet here. And obviously you get to see a bunch of Adeptus Custodes that are hanging out on the top shelf. I really like these action figures. I have yet to get a riser for the Custodian Guard that is in the back, but as you can see here, I have a riser for this action figure here. And then moving down below, we have the non-transhumans, and in the back we have Celestine and her two Gemini. It's nice that these guys actually kind of come with their own risers. They have stands that you can boost them on, which is nice. And then in the front we have the Tempestus Scions, and on the side is the very recently reviewed Cadians. And over on this other side is where I have chosen to display the Cadian with the regimental standard. And finally is my very, very small collection of other Space Marines, which is the Space Wolves. So you got Arjak, Ragnar, Bjorn, you have Tor, as well as the Sister's Machine, and then the Wolf Priest stuck in the middle of what's going on over here. So this is my smallest cabinet, as you can see, and the smallest cabinet is the one that I actually chose to do some lighting stuff. So I have put some LED lights to help display the items that are in this cabinet, and there it is, my smallest cabinet. So some of you may be wondering exactly what kind of miniatures that I have, and these are all my Warhammer 40k miniatures that I have actually hand painted myself. So there are a decent amount of miniatures here that I have painted. There's a total of about 100 of them, maybe 115, that have all been painted by yours truly. So let me open up the cabinet and get rid of the ring lights for you. And as you can see here, there are a bunch of risers that I use to display all these miniatures that I have. And I love these risers because, well, it keeps things very, very organized and keeps things very visually pleasing and aesthetically gratifying. So those are my Sanguinary Guard, as well as the Death Company. We have some chaplains, a Death Company chaplain, a regular chaplain that you saw me in my live video that I've painted, and we have a librarian, a few Smash Captains, and a Sanguinary Priest. And as you can notice here, all these guys are firstborn. I have 0 Primaris in this cabinet because I am an OG Blood Angels player and I wanted to keep everything firstborn. So I've got the regular Terminators here, got the Command Company as well, and then finishing off with some Assault Terminators. And this is actually not all my collection. I have a bunch of gray piles of shame that I have needed to paint and I have not gotten around to it. So these are my tactical squads over here, which are the backbone of all firstborn army. And these are my assassins that I have over here. And I love these assassins, especially that Vindicare right there is one of my favorites and an OG one. And down here is my heavy armor. So we have some Predator Annihilators and some Ball Preds that are going on. And then these are my Devastator squads that are here. So this is my miniature collection, or at least my Firstborn painted miniature collection. I have hundreds of unpainted Firstborn as well as Primaris. So this is clearly my 4-tier cabinet that I use to display all my Blood Angels action figures. And once again, I will remove the ring light by opening up the cabinet. This is a 4-tier one, and this houses every single one of my Blood Angels. So we have the Dreadnought in the back, and I have my Assault Terminators in the front with this beautiful standard that I love. And then moving on down, we have the Blood Angels veterans, as well as the Blade Guard, and of course Mephiston. And then moving on down, we have the Assault Terminators with the Lightning Claws, as well as the Death Company. And then we have the Redemptor Dread, along with a bunch of Blood Angels Intercessor and your token aggressor off to the side. All right, and here is the last and biggest display that I have going on. Clearly up top I have a bunch of Grey Knights, and once again I use a bunch of tiering systems to help me display these awesome action figures. And there is Castellan Crow on the back, which is still a badass action figure. And I have a bunch of Grey Knights up top. So as I told you, these guys are one of my favorite factions. So that's why they are hanging out up top above the rest of the action figures. Now, going to the tier that is beneath them, I have all my Black Templars. And Black Templars, once again, are my second favorite faction, as they are very, very popular amongst you all as well. So I have my Blade Guard, my Raider Pattern Combat Bike, the Sword Brothers in the front, as well as a bunch of smatterings of characters. So we've got Helbrecht in the back over here, and then we do have the 2 Emperor's Champions. Now to the third tier over here, we are starting to get a little bit cramped. So there is the recently reviewed Azrael. I have a bunch of other Dark Angels here, especially the Blade Guard. I have 3 representatives of the Iron Hands, and then moving on down, I have 3 representatives of the Raven Guard, and then the Salamanders. I also have 3 representatives. You see the ongoing pattern over here. I do have the Blade Guard right there, as well as Agatone. And then finally, I have the Raider Pattern Combat Bike for the White Scars, as well as Mr. Khan in the back. So this is the point in time in which I'm going to be showing you all my blueberries. I have a crap ton of them, and they predominate the whole entire collection because, well, they are the poster children of GW, so they naturally have the most action figures. So I have the company standard over there, as well as the chapter standard over there with the Ultramarines. Tigurius is clearly in front, Calgar, as well as Mr. Gilliman himself. And then I have a smattering of other characters such as the Tech Marine, as well as the Gravis Captain and the Captain with the Relic Shield. I really love this one. He's so badass. And then finally down here is where I keep all my big armor. So we have the Redemptor Dreadnought in the back, as well as the Box Knot right here. There is the Invader ATV, and I've got the beautiful paperweight right there, as well as the awesome Terminators that are down here. So that is my collection on my biggest cabinet here. So this all should look very, very familiar to you all. This is exactly what you see in the background when I am recording all my videos. So I have my Battle Sisters that are up top. I really love these ladies. They are so badass. And then beneath them, I have the Bandai action figures with the Gravis Captain, as well as the regular Intercessor. And below that are my Joy Toy Necrons, as you can see. And then below them are the Tau, the Crisis Suit, as well as the Shadow Sun. And then finally rounding out, I have this diminutive little orc that is hanging out over here. So that is the extent of all my Xenos right here, as you can see. I think some of you may or may not be interested in what I have hanging around the background that you don't typically see. So these are things from Starforged, and I really like all these different kind of, I guess, metal plaques or whatever the heck you want to call them. So there is a Melt-A-Bomb here, Helbrecht's personal standard. I have a master-crafted bolt gun here, a bolt round, purity seal, the black blade. I love the black blade. Blood Angels purity seal, as well as the standard for the Blood Angels. And then this is what you see up top. We have the Space Marine with board game with Titus, empty box for Mephiston, obviously Castellan Crow, a version 3 Blood Angel, which is standing on a chalice that is, I think, pretty badass. A Lego minifigure that is huge, and behind that is a box for Mr. Guilliman, and I have, like I said, the Primaris Captain with the Relic Shield. And obviously I have the Lieutenant right here, as well as the Hellblaster, and then beneath that is the Raven Guard Sergeant, and then I do have the Ultramarines Intercessor, as well as the Dark Angels Intercessor in the back. And then finally down here we have once again my lovely Sisters of Battle, Order of the Bloody Rose, as well as our Martyred Lady. So that is pretty much it for my collection right here. So this is exactly what you see in the back. Ask and you shall receive, and you definitely got what you asked for. I really hope that you enjoyed this little tour of my man cave, especially highlighting all my Warhammer stuff, especially my miniatures, the stuff that's going on in the back that you see all the time, as well as everything that I have bought and I have displayed in the cabinets. To be honest, I'm very, very thankful to be able to afford all these action figures, and I love them, each and every single one of them. They bring me so much joy, and it is literally a dream come true to have action figures this size. Once again, if you have seen all my videos, it's something that I dreamed of when I was a kid, to have something that was blown up from this small to basically this big. And this is a fantastic time to live and be in for us Warhammer 40K fans. If there is any action figure that has caught your eye, please make sure to click on the link in the description below, where I'll direct you to a very, very reputable site where I get all my action figures. And make sure to use the code SNS to receive 12% off. So with that being said, I want to thank you for your continued support. You guys are awesome, and I really would not be here without you all. And happy holidays, and I'll see you all in the next one.